Hi guys, welcome back to the player. Thanks for joining me, and there's all buttons and bells going off in here because this car's got so many warning systems on it as well. Today, as you probably realised, we're going to take a look at the new Golf from Volkswagen. That sound is so familiar when you hear that door shut as well. So let's have a look around this car. Let's give our evaluation of whether this is a family car or whether it's just one of those cars that we just can't fit into a category. But so far, loving the look of it. So let's take a look around the car and see what the main differences are. There you go, all done. It really is that simple because there aren't hardly any differences at all. You've got these like little fancy sort of stripe bits on the bonnet that give it more of a aggressive sort of look. You get these nice LED headlights, but then you had them on the last one. The only thing is now they come included with the base price, so you don't have to pay extra for LEDs. One very distinctive difference is the new logo. Now that is something a bit different, and at the moment this is the only car, that's the Golf version 8, that is sporting the new logo. That might become a bit of a collector's item. We'll keep an eye on that. I think a few other people might think likewise as well. So all in all, sadly, this car isn't really that much different to the ones before it. However, you have to admire Volkswagen's consistency when it comes to the Golf, because the one thing that the Golf has built on all these years of this car has been around is its reliability, its fundamental basic ethos of being a car that we all love to drive and admire. Let's have a look under the bonnet and see if anything's changed there. Let's check it out. First of all, under the bonnet, we need the bonnet catch. And because this is a UK spec model, the bonnet catch is just down there in the footwell. You can't miss it. Very, very easy to find. And if I'm right in thinking, in all the Golfs, there's a little catch in the middle there. There you go. How simple is that? Wow, this is a heavy bonnet. I wasn't expecting that. That's a really heavy bonnet. Well, to be honest, there's not a lot to see, as you would expect with this very, very modern engine. It's all covered in nice bits of plastic, so you can't see anything happening or working. There are 5 different engines in the new Golf range. You have 2 diesels, 2 petrols, and then there is an ETSI, which is what this one is, and it's a 1.5 petrol engine with a mild hybrid attached to it. So Volkswagen have explained to me. I think we'll talk more about that when we get out on the road. I just wanted you to see under the bonnet here how neat, tidy and clean it is. You could actually eat your dinner off this particular car. Mind you, it is brand new. Let's go and have a look around the back. Very typical Golf looking, as you'd expect. You've got this nice sort of diffuser along the top with a stoplight running almost the entire length. You've got a little wash and wipe. You've got a very typical Golf window at the back here. You've got the LEDs smooth around the side there, and you probably noticed the Golf logo has gone. It's been moved to the middle, and that's in keeping with this whole new branding that Volkswagen are coming out with. You'll find now all new Volkswagens have the name right here in the middle, no longer on the left hand side there, which sort of slightly makes it unbalanced when they go and stick an ETSI badge to the right, but it's not the end of the world. You've got the new logo again there as well. And to be honest, well, there's no big exhaust to show or anything. You've got a bit of trim down the bottom here. It's just a very nice looking car. I like it. Let's have a look in the boot, see if it's big. Let's check out inside. So if you know your Golfs, you just push the logo like that, and it's not electronically assisted. It's not heavy enough for that. You've got some decent struts on here that pull it up. Okay, so first thing I've noticed, parcel shelf. Hate them, hate them. What is the point in them? Get rid of it, throw it away, go on, have it over there. There you go, it's all gone. Look at that, 387 litres. Now, that might not make sense to a lot of you. We're trying to work out litres, especially if you live in America. It's like, what the hell are litres? It's big, so you can get a good couple of shopping bags in there, you can get some luggage in there, and if you were going on a holiday and you were shopping at the same time, you'd still get it in here. The only thing is, I have noticed, there's nothing to protect this bit here, and there is a bit of a lip. So this is going to get scratched, which is a shame. And I've also got a feeling that this bumper bit at the back, especially got dogs jumping in and out, or you're trying, you know, if you're a lady on your own or a man on your own, you're trying to put the pram in here or the pushchair, it's going to scratch. A good thing is that this will go down here, so you can drop this to another level. gives you a bit more depth and a bit more scope when putting bits and pieces in here, whatever you're going to be carrying. I quite like that. And also underneath, let me pull this back up to the top again, you get a spare wheel, you get a space saver. There you go, see, that comes up quite nicely there. So you've got your space saver in there, which I always say there's no point in having a puncture repair kit or a pump. What's that going to do? You go around the corner, you hit a curb or something, you mash your wheel, you're not going to be able to pump the tyre up again, so you're going to be stuck. So order yourself a spare wheel. It's not the full size one, it's one of those, you know, sort of speed related ones that we don't really care about. So 387 litres, which is a reasonable amount. Then with the split seating here, quite easy, you can just reach through here. You can pop the seat down like that, and then you can do the same over there, and we've now got pretty much almost 1300 litres. That's a good size in there. You're going to get a lot of stuff in there. You definitely get a bike in here. You might have to take the front wheel off, but you definitely get a bike in there. You've got a 12 volt adapter under here, which is great. These, I think you could probably hang some shopping bags off of these. I think that's probably what they were intended for. Got a couple of little pockets either side. I mean, all in all, it's really nice. It's good. It's got nice and open as well. And the one thing we always check, if we've got some heavy loads, you're only going to have to lift to there, and then you can actually get it across. So it's not as high. It's only just above my knee. I like this. It's really cool. Let's jump in the back and see if the passengers get enough comfort out of this car, and is it worth taking any passengers with you, or should you just keep this down and leave it like it is? Let's crack on. Right, before I check for the passengers, loving this little shark fin on the back there, really cool. Right, let's have a look inside, see what it's like to get in and out. Well, yeah, it's very, very nice. It's comfortable. You've got these sort of little pockets here to put your mobile phone or anything else, and another pocket down there for your iPad or whatever. Couple of, oh yeah, USB-C charging ports down the bottom here, and you've got independent heating for the rear passengers as well. Now I do know you can get independent rear heated seats as well. This particular model hasn't got it, but I was told that you can have that as an option. Let's have a look what it's like light wise. Well, you've got these nice LED sort of reading lights up the top here, and at the same time you've got a really lovely big window at the back here, and it doesn't feel claustrophobic at all. I quite like this material. It's a real nice sort of easy keep clean design. Colour's a bit drab, but yeah, you get a choice of colours when you buy these cars. In the centre here, well, we have the double cup holder, and it's quite comfy. And aha, of course you've got to have the ski hatch. There you go. So in the UK we don't have skiing, just to let you know, so we use this for going to the DIY store, and you can put a nice piece of wood through here, which always seems to impress people for some reason. Personally, I'd like to go to France and drive one of these and put my skis in here, because I do love skiing, but very handy actually. What's it like in the middle? Well, you've got a high tunnel here, so you're going to struggle getting your legs over if you're an old boy like me, but you get in the middle there, well, yep, as long as you haven't got anybody else in the car with you, you can sit here and watch where you're going, which is great fun. All in all, not a bad place for your passengers to sit. I wouldn't be complaining. And if you've got little babies, they do have pull down ISOFIX points, and they stay in the car. Look at that, it's great. So all that remains now is to get it on the ramp and have a look underneath before we get it out on the road. Before we get it up on the ramp, just have a quick look up front. I know we're going to see it when we get out on the road, but I wanted to point out, because this is where the most changes have happened in this car. As you can probably see, it's like stepping into some space age, very sort of boring, drab area. It's just, that's the only way I can describe it. There's just nothing to it. You've got two big 10-inch screens here, and they literally, everything, there aren't any buttons or, I was going to say knobs, but I always get accused of saying the wrong thing when I say that. But there's nothing here physical. Let me show you. So let's start her up. There's a start button here in the middle. That's your new gear shift, by the way. Look, it's almost like the key. It's very strange. Right, so foot on the brake, and there you go. Now I'm going to shut the door, because otherwise it'll keep whistling and beeping and doing all its usual things. We're now in park, so that's good. On the top right here, I'll tell you what we do. We're just going to push once, so we keep all this on. There you go. That's lovely. That worked. Good. On the top right here, this is basically your mode button for your lighting and also some of your heating, like the rear window and the front window. It's all in very strange places. So if you want to access the temperature, there's a hot and a cold here, and if you notice, if you just run your finger up and down like that, it will pop up. It's quite sensitive, but once you get it going, it really does work. It's good. I like that. It's different. The volume for the radio is also in the middle there, or for whatever you're listening to. Again, it's a slide, or you can just use the tap buttons, like so. It will come up and down. It's not as sensitive as I'd like it to be, so it does work on the slider though, which is really good. If you want to activate the heated front seats, there's a little shortcut here. You can double tap. No, it didn't work that time. That time it did. So you see the heatings come up, and if you double tap again, it will go down a stage, and again, and that will turn it off. No, it's turned it back on again. But this is what I'm saying. I mean, all of this is fun for the first time, but have you noticed how distracted I am from everything that's going on? Imagine doing that while you're driving along. It's all fancy and I love it, and I am a big technophobe. I love tech, all the tech, the latest stuff, but not in a car, not this much. Have a few buttons, have a few dials, little bits and pieces, like turn the temperature up and down or turn the volume up and down. I like that. You've got two USB-Cs again, so if you haven't got a USB-C, then you need the adapter that they gave me, so you can plug your standard USB into a USB-C. Again, it's got a mobile phone charger here. It's got a wireless, charger there, but that's only going to work on an iPhone 8 Plus. It definitely is not going to work on your Android stuff. You've got two cup holders here. You've got a 12-volt adapter here. Good old 12-volt adapter. We miss you. And in here is a tiny glove box where I'm going to put that adapter because it's in the way, which you can also set to a certain height. So nothing's changed there. That's still old school golf stuff. Steering wheel wise, well, on the right here we've got our voice commands. We've got the view that you can change here when you're setting things up for yourself. You've got, again, scroll backwards and forwards button on the right there. On the left here, you've got the cruise control settings, so you can set that up yourself here on the buttons, and you've got your distance control settings in the middle as well. It's a nice steering wheel. I like that. You've got some flappy paddles under here as well, which is really nice. We need to do a little bit more in depth with this, with the screen. I want to show you a little bit more about that. So we'll do that on a separate thing. First of all, let's get it up on the ramp and have a look underneath it and see what's changed underneath this car, which is a little bit different for us. Right, so here we are. We're at a good friend of mine, Richard Baxter's garage. He's also known as Garage Queens. And if you check down there now, Garage Queens, you'll see what they actually do. It's quite interesting. We're going to use his ramp, and Richard and I are going to take a look around the car underneath. Let's go do it. So here we are, guys. This is a first for us at the Player. We're actually going to go underneath a brand new car and have a look how it's put together. This is my very good friend Richard, also known as Professor BMW. And if you want to see some of the things that we've done together, sounds a bit rude, but it isn't. It's to do with classic cars. Did the Minis the other week. Check up here now. And we did the... He does speak. Hang on. I'll wind him up a little bit.
Jaguar.
Thank you. The Jaguar we did together, yes. And he's not standing there with this thing for any particular reason apart from to show you guys underneath the car here. So, Richard, let's have a look round. What do you notice straight away from a classical...
Let's get some light on, shall we?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Jesus.
So, interesting, isn't it, that so much of the underside is covered in the plastic covers.
Loads of covers. But you can see bits, can't you, under here?
Yeah. We can see the all the running gear from the front axle, all very clean and obviously because it's new.
It's brand new.
But I think the interesting thing from classic car point of view is that these plastic covers are going to make an amazing amount of difference to keeping the cars clean underneath, because you know, from my usual experience underneath cars is full of rust and crud and everything else. So this is going to make a big difference to how...
This is hiding the sump, basically, isn't it? It's like a sump guard.
Engines above.
My thoughts are, with all this plastic, I mean, it's all very nice, but is it not going to hold the water in, and then the water's going to sit in pockets and then start to rust and rot in the next few years? Or am I just thinking, you know, playing devil's advocate, so to speak?
I think we're going to find that out in time. But
yeah, we will do, I suppose. You've got the exhaust running through here, and it gets a little bit more open back here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You start to see a bit more under here.
I mean, I first remember seeing these sort of plastic covers way back in the, I suppose, early to mid 90s, but not to this extent, not running the whole length of the car.
Yeah, there's a huge amount of it.
Yeah.
But then at the back here, there seems a lot less all of a sudden.
Yes.
Okay, we've got a bit here.
Yes.
Fuel tank, you reckon?
It maybe the airflow, if that's what it's about, is is maybe it's exhausted itself by the time it gets to the back here, so there's no need to do it if that's the purpose. But
yeah, it could be. I think it's more airflow than it is to protect it.
But it's very interesting to see how sophisticated the rear suspension has become.
Yes.
On a family hatch, really, because I should think the levels of suspension, ride, the quietness of the ride has been dramatically addressed here.
Yeah, it really has. You can see it's completely independent as well.
Yeah.
So I really like this. I think it's well put together. You've got the obviously a modern day catalytic converter here. Look at the size of this exhaust. I mean, why do you need such a huge exhaust? With modern technology, I would have thought you could minimise all this.
Do you know, it's a good point. And also, the engine size, 1.5 litre?
Yes, yeah.
So it's a huge exhaust system for a 1.5 litre car.
For a 1.5 litre car, that's a petrol car as well.
Almost looks diesel-like on the exit.
It does.
The exit of the pipes.
Yeah, the two pipes here.
Yeah.
Again, I suppose it's just more money to produce something that goes out the back. You know, it would have looked nice, I think, to have had a couple of exhaust pipes out the back. But oh, there you go. That's what it looks like underneath, guys. That's a modern day car for you. So thanks, Richard. I really appreciate
Pleasure.
that. And
yeah.
Great with your light as well. We can see absolutely everything. All that remains now, really, guys, is to get this car out on the road and give you the final evaluation. Don't forget, Richard is all things classic as well. garagequeens.co.uk. I'll get it right in a minute. It's coming up now. Let's get it out on the road. Go and have a look. Here we are out on the road in the Golf Mark 8. The first thing that I noticed when I got in here is the sheer comfort level of this car. It is stunningly comfort, and so is every other Golf I've ever driven, apart from a very old GTI a long time ago, which had pretty much had the stuffing knocked out of it, so it was a bit rickety and rackety. But nearly every other Golf I've got, and you've got that nice solid door when it shuts, you just know you're in something that's safe, it's quiet and it's comfy and cozy, and the systems are all working, and it's just reliability. But is that what this car is actually gonna, reliability, rely upon? There you go. It's you know, this credibility of the Golf branding that this car is relying on, because it's not cheap. This car starts at 27,000 UK pounds. I was quite shocked at that for a family car. Maybe I'm getting a little out of touch with the prices, but this particular car is loaded with not a lot of stuff, but we're up at 32,000 UK pounds. That's almost 37,000 US dollars. That's a lot of money for a little car like this. And you'd think with that money you'd get a lot extra. Well, you don't really. You get enough. I mean, you get blind spot mirrors, that's good. You get distance control, lane departure control. You get sign recognition. We get autonomous braking in town, which is really great. I love that. So if you're reversing, you can't quite see something moves, say some child walks in at the back of you, it will automatically brake for you. And likewise at the front as well. If someone steps out in front of you, or a bike suddenly goes, it will automatically do that for you. Great stuff. Auto high beam dipping, so you don't have to keep flicking the high beam when you're going down country roads, or you've got the full beam on. And these things are all just lovely, lovely little luxury things that you need in a modern day car, I agree. But at a cost of what? You know, this is what I'm trying to evaluate, trying to work out, is it worth the money? Drive-wise, yeah, 100%. A little bit softy on the suspension. It's a bit rolly. It's not, but then we're not in a GTI. This is supposed to be a family car. And I also noticed with the hybrid works on the KERS regeneration system. So, and it works through the brakes. and it really is noticeable in this car. You feel it when you brake. You have to get used to it. It's almost like the brakes aren't there. I mean, they definitely are, trust me, they're very good brakes, but it just seems like when the hybrid starts kicking in and it uses that energy, for some reason when the braking or you're freewheeling, you just feel it somewhere. There's good feedback through the wheel, and it is a great steering wheel. It's really comfy, it's lovely, real good, nice, ergonomically designed steering wheel. There you go, I like that one. Ergonomically designed steering wheel. Everything's at the touch of a fingertip. The only thing, going back to earlier on with the touchscreen, it's taken me a while to get used to it. I'm now fully used to it, but I'm still having to look over there like that and not look at the road. And I think that is a little bit, it's not that good. It's too much going on there. You want it nice and easy, just simple buttons and knobs and things like that. I mean, over here you've got your central control panel for your lights. I've fiddled about with them. I've now managed to get them on auto, and I don't really think I'm that out of touch when it comes to the technical side of these cars. This is what I do for a living, so I should know what I'm talking about when I talk about these things here. All in all, driving this car, it's a lovely place to be. Economically, perhaps not as lovely. So you would think with that hybrid thing, we'd be going what? Go on, have a guess, guys, before you don't flick through, have a guess. No, you're wrong, because this is doing 36 to the gallon. I would have, and this is a petrol, I would have thought, given this is a fact that it's a mild hybrid, we'd be up in the late 40s, early 50s, and that's what I think you just guessed. Late 40s, maybe 50s on a good run. But no, not to be, unfortunately. We're down at 36s. Again, you know, you're paying a lot of money for this type of car. I'd expect a bit more on the economies. So be it. We are not, as you know, a one-trick pony here at The Player. We are part of a bigger organisation. In actual fact, we are part of The Player. And The Player is a magazine that is specifically designed for the males amongst us, for the men. Yes, sorry, if you're a lady watching, I'm really sorry, but we designed the magazine for men. So it's full of cars, and it's full of boats, and wine, and beers, and golf, and holidays, everything us guys love. So if you want to go and have a look at that, because it's online, and it's a real thing in the real life, it's a big book that costs a lot of money. So you don't want to go buy one of those. Go online where it's free, because I'm offering everybody who watches us on YouTube an opportunity to enjoy a free magazine that, if you're a guy, you're going to love. So go here, www, it's coming up now, .theplayer.co.uk. There you go, simple. Subscribe, just stick your email in, subscribe, it's all free, and then you can either download it or you can have a look at it online. Simple as. I'm AJ the Player, as you probably well know if you're a regular visitor here. We have hundreds of videos, guys. If you've just arrived here, go and have a look at our other videos, because we do all sorts of stuff. New cars, old cars, classic cars, restorations, boats, aeroplanes, everything I can get my hands on. I love it. It's just one of those things. If you love it, then I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And if you don't love it, then don't give me a thumbs up. Comments, and if you really like watching us and you like what we do, why not subscribe? And don't forget, leave the little bell box unchecked, because otherwise you won't get a notification when I put a video up for you. And I'm putting them up on a regular basis, like almost once a week. So, you know, eat your heart out, guys. It's there for the taking. Go and enjoy it. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video about the new Volkswagen Golf Mark 8. I've certainly enjoyed driving it. I've had a lot of fun playing around with the colours and making this car more adaptable to me personally. It's a good car. Give it a test drive. Don't forget, safe driving, guys, and I'll catch you next week with another car or another boat or another train or whatever. Catch you later.